got to kick it off with a killer to grab attention. Then you got to take it up a notch.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us.
Who are you?
I'm Shiva, the god of death.
Cells. Interlinked.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Folks, welcome back to Debaser, a film podcast. I'm Jared, and I'm joined by my co-host, Will. Say hello, Will.
Hello.
On this show, we explore both new and familiar movies as we attempt to analyze and interpret them, all in an effort to debase the films and ourselves. And this is part 2 of our top 10 movies of 2024. We will be going through number 5 through to number 1.
Yes.
And then we'll have some honorary categories after that. Or at least I will. I don't know if everybody else brought it.
I've got a couple things that didn't make the list that I thought was good this year that I enjoyed.
Oh, mine aren't quite in that vein.
Or bad too.
But that's okay.
I know we're going to talk about Emilia Perez and say that it's bad.
Oh my God, that's right.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Burr, 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 burr.
Okay, so let's roll right into it. My number 5, I'm just going to pick it up, by the way. This is, okay, real quick, we're doing the snakes draft.
If you listened to the last episode, yeah.
Maybe people just went to the top 5.
They're like, okay,
we don't give a shit.
I promise you, this is somebody's first episode. Yeah, it always
That
is. You
fucking
have to prepare for that as a
sucks.
podcast.
Okay, my bad.
Anyway, we're doing a snake draft where I'm going to start and I'll do my number 5. And then Will do his number 5. And then Kourtney, I didn't introduce
who is a guest.
So sorry. Oh my God.
You just jumped right in.
We are also joined by the lovely Kourtney Rusk. Kourtney, I'm so sorry I didn't introduce you. I was in such a hurry.
Greatly opinionated, or like not opinionated, but great opinion. You got a good opinion.
I'm always saying shit.
You saying some good shit. I was trying to give you praise and I fucked it up.
Thank you.
Just
I'm like,
The great Kourtney Rusk.
super judgmental.
Super gossipy, very messy. Kourtney, I'm so sorry. Thank you for joining us, though.
It's okay.
Yes, we love it.
But yeah, I'll do my number 5. Will do his number 5. Then Kourtney does her number 5, then 4, and then we'll bounce back around like that. And then if we have a movie that we get to that's higher up on someone else's list, we'll just talk about it then anyway.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that number, just say, well, we already discussed it, but my number 3 is, Emilia Perez.
We're never going to stop with this one.
I know. My number 5 is the last one that we've already talked about so far, but it is Conclave. Kourtney had it.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Kourtney, what number was Conclave for you? You don't remember. Okay, so it was like 7 or 8 for you, I think it was.
I believe it was 7, yeah.
It was a whole episode ago. We're not supposed to remember that.
That's true.
Oh my God, it was like 40 years ago. It was number 8.
It was number 8.
There you go.
Okay, I said 7 or 8. I think I had it. But yeah, number 5 was Conclave.
Did you want to rehash it since this is technically you would say this is somebody's new
sure.
first
Just
episode?
very quickly, the premise is like Rafe finds is a cardinal that's tasked with leading a vote for the new pope because the pope has passed. It's not a true story, by the way. It's all fictionalized. But he brings in all the cardinals from around the world to come vote at what's the Catholic city called?
The Vatican?
The Vatican. Thank you. I know it's in Italy, but like,
Wow.
okay. Listen, I'm not Catholic, okay?
I was.
I know. That's why you should know and not me.
That's true.
Anyway.
She beat me on it, but
all the cardinals come down to the Vatican, and Ralph Fiennes is tasked with like leading this vote. All of the cardinals are very gossipy and messy. It's a wonderful and arresting film. It also stars Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and Isabella Rossellini. You would think that it is a like stuffy, pretentious religious movie that's like Oscar bait, and it really isn't. Even though it is like getting nominated for a lot of awards, like it's because it's a very fun movie that is like built on like someone having a crisis of conscience, basically trying to like find a solution to like a moral quandary. And it's just very arresting. Has a great resolution. Without any spoilers, I was told it had a twist. I don't agree that it's a twist because I saw it come to a mile away. But but I really like the ending of this movie. It is very surprising that they went that way, but it was very fun. Will, what is your number 5 of 2024?
Number 5, 2024 is a movie that I am shocked has not been stated by you on your list, but it is Furiosa.
We'll get to it on mine.
All right, fantastic. I figured it would be because we both really like this movie.
Yeah.
Furiosa, directed by George Miller, written by George Miller and Nick Lathuris, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, and Tom Burke. Who was Tom Burke in this movie? Oh, that's the ranger.
Yeah, the guy that teaches her
Why
everything.
the fuck did I even not know that?
Yeah.
And I loved him in this
He's
movie too. So
amazing.
Much like your theater experience with Trap, I saw this movie by myself.
Ooh, I love a movie by yourself.
With only 3 other people in the film.
Nice.
And I thought that they were going to yap and shit. They did not. I was right in the best seat in the theater. I had the bar. I could put my legs up. My legs were not up because I was so fucking pulled into this movie. Like
in Trap, you leaned forward.
Yep, exactly. I was so fucking locked in on this movie, especially. I remember we talked about this when we did our episode on it, but when the Octoboss is about to
God.
raid the tanker that has all of the food in it. God damn it, George Miller is so intentional with his shots, with his world. With the technology that these people have cobbled together in order to do the things that they need to do in order to survive. Fucking loved this movie. I loved this movie. The ending was crazy. I never would have saw this shit coming. I never would have fucking thought that they would deal with the villain the way that they did. I fucking love this movie.
Especially for a prequel, too. For it to be so shocking.
Yeah. And like, damn it, dude, I can't believe this movie made no fucking money.
It is a travesty that this movie bombed.
And we're probably not going to get the Tom Hardy Mad Max. And George Miller's going to die in
he is in his 80s.
5 to 6 years.
He's definitely near the end of his career.
He do be old.
He do be old. It is such a bummer, but man, what a film. If this is his last one, what a way to go. Hats off to him. I fucking love this movie.
I think it will become not just a cult movie, but a movie that's fondly remembered, and people because the week it came out, people were like, "Oh, it's bombing! Like, what a fucking shame! This movie's incredible."
Yeah,
and you can have some misgivings that it's not quite up to the level that Fury Road is, but what is?
Who cares?
Fury Road's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah, easily.
And that Furiosa is 80% as good of it, puts it head and shoulders above 90% of movies.
Yeah, exactly. It's so nice to catch a director that has intentionality in fucking everything.
George Miller is a fucking visionary.
Yeah,
by every definition. He's never made a bad movie.
I wish he wasn't 80. I wish he was younger. I wish that we could get more out of him.
I highly recommend going through his older films.
Yeah, we're gonna do Babe 2.
We're doing Babe Pig in the City. Yeah, man. So it's so good. He also did The Witches. What's the Witches movie?
The Witches of Eastwick.
Witches of Eastwick.
So good.
That really blowed me away.
That movie made me stop straightening my hair. Everyone in it has beautiful curly hair, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Man, he made some amazing movies. I mean, he's made every Mad Max movie there is.
Yeah.
And I'm worried what Warner Brothers is going to do with the property when George is gone.
Does he have an understudy? Does he have somebody that you think he could trust to carry on the legacy? Because I don't.
Not to my knowledge.
The reason why I asked that is because the guy who did Berserk, when he died, he at least had a team of people who knew where he was wanting to go with the story and could emulate his art the best that they, to the best of their ability.
There's new Berserk.
Yeah.
What?
They're trying to finish the book in his honor.
Oh, I love that.
So it would be nice if there was somebody that could grab the flag and carry on his legacy, because it is, when he dies, we will lose one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. It's
absolutely
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And it should be a testament to every film that is above Furiosa on my list. That I liked it just more.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I don't know what to tell you. It's a shame.
You want to know something tragic?
What's that?
George Miller had a producing partner who helped write and produce a lot of his films with him, and he died, I think, in the 80s.
Oh, fuck.
And his production company is named after
the
two
that's
of them.
so nice.
That's good.
Yeah. He helped create a lot of the early Mad Max movies with him, though.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Well, hey, if you haven't watched Furiosa yet, go fucking do it.
See
what's
it.
wrong with you?
You will not regret it.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah. Kourtney, what is your number 5?
Yeah, let's hear it.
My number 5. All right. My number 5 is a little kind of indie movie called The Last Showgirl. And it is directed by Gia Coppola of the Coppola fames.
Is this the
I think
daughter?
this is a niece of Francis.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is not the.
You're thinking of Sophia.
It is not
Coppola, and
Sophia.
It's not Sophia.
Yeah.
It's
I wish
the
I
niece
could see
instead.
their family tree and see like where
Where she
where
lands.
Gia lies in this.
Yeah.
Is she related to Nick Cage too?
We need to look it up.
Okay, because Nick Cage is also
Yeah.
a nephew of
Francis
Francis
Ford
Ford
Coppola.
Coppola.
But it is a movie about showgirls for girls. It is like stars Pamela Anderson as a
Oh.
seasoned showgirl in a show that is ending in the like Vegas Strip. And it just kind of goes through like how she feels about the art of being a showgirl and how she has dedicated her last 30 years to being a showgirl and like how she feels about the beauty behind it and
Yeah.
like how it makes her feel and like focusing your career on something that maybe isn't appreciated in a way that maybe if it was like a man who was putting their career first
Yeah.
would have to encounter. But
Yeah.
it's really beautifully shot. All the scenes are kind of like hazy, dreamy. It's really pretty. And Pamela Anderson is really good in it. Like, I didn't know she had the chops.
I'm
Yeah.
interested.
It was really good.
Like I don't know how to say it. The way that you pitched it, like it's a person who's been in this business for, and
Yeah.
it's like a kind of not like an exploitative business, but
Yes,
it
and
kinda is.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's her boss in the movie?
Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so fucking
Yeah.
in. Are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me?
Jamie Lee Curtis plays her best friend as a.
I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I think she was
know,
also
this
in the
cast
show.
is awesome, right?
Yeah.
But like it kind of just shows how they're aging out of the system and
Yeah.
how they think it's like a really beautiful art, but more recent shows are very like gratuitous
Yeah.
and
more
they're
lurid.
and they're
Yeah.
kind of just
It's not for them anymore.
It's not for them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah.
That's such a good.
It was
interesting
good, but it
premise.
was really like, I mean, there is nudity and but it's like, it really does feel like a movie for the girlies.
Yeah. Okay.
About the
cool.
girlies.
Yeah.
Have you seen like actual Showgirls? Like the
I need to.
Bro, let me tell you, dude, that movie is wild. It's so good, but it fits right in with
Oh, you mean the movie Showgirls? I thought
Yeah.
you meant like literal, like
No. Paul Verhoeven's
Dancers, yeah.
Showgirls.
Yeah, I
like
know.
it fits right in his how do you say it?
his wheelhouse.
His anti-capitalist, fascist wheelhouse.
That movie famously bombed in its time and has been reclaimed, and people were like, "No, it's actually fucking good," and
It's-
nobody
I
got
need to
it.
watch
No,
it.
it's
Yeah.
watching it after really understanding
Yeah.
both RoboCop and
I was gonna say that happened to like all the
Starship
Starship Verhoeven's
Troopers.
films in the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah,
like it's crazy. Like rewatching it, or not rewatching it, watching it for the first time in my 30s. I was
Yeah.
like, "What? This is so fucking good. This is
Yeah.
like good in so many ways that I never would have thought." You know,
Yeah.
but that's awesome. I
It's
do
good.
want to check this out. Now, quick question: this is a Gia Coppola. Where would you rank her in the Coppola ranks?
I think for all I know, this is her only movie.
Yeah, and she's number one. She's
She's
straight
number
to the
one.
top?
No, I
Yeah.
would say Sophia's better. And then,
You think Sophia Coppola's good?
yes, I do.
What
I like the Virgin Suicides.
don't-
I like the Bling Ring.
I remember you like the Blink.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't mean to whatchamacallit, like drag this out, but I'm very
yeah.
curious.
No,
about
you're
this.
fine, you're
Yes.
fine, yeah.
So Virgin Suicides,
Yeah.
Bling Ring.
Bling Ring, surprising. It was a fun time.
It was.
I'm trying to think, what else has she done?
She did Promising Young Woman, and
Oh, I like that too.
she did the
No,
That was not.
No.
Hold on.
She is a promising young woman, is
No.
what you're thinking.
Who did that?
that's the lady that did Saltburn.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
yes.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. She's like a rich European socialite.
My bad. Sophia Coppola did the Elvis movie though. Priscilla.
I liked
Yes.
Priscilla.
Yes.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
was her.
I watched that.
Priscilla
I thought it was
made me
good.
feel fucking dirty.
I
you know.
mean, I just felt bad
Oh,
for
for
her.
liking Elvis.
No.
Oh.
I
Because
never-
you're like a huge Elvis fan.
Yeah.
No.
Because
You,
you're
like,
like,
love
problematic fave. I
Elvis.
love Elvis.
Whoa. Okay. All right, guys. You're
You're like,
crafting a narrative that is not true. So the reason why I asked that is because when I had seen that movie, me and Jared talked, and something that he told me is that Sophia's complaints about Sophia Coppola's characters is that they feel like wooden or like dry,
okay, I could definitely see that.
and so like
Well, her acting is definitely that too, but
I haven't, yeah.
it's almost like an acquired taste.
I
kind of
haven't
thing,
made it
you know?
to The Godfather 3. So
yeah, I know.
excuse me if I don't know that. But I was just curious because like I know that that's a complaint. So I was wondering if
No, they're not wooden. They're very fleshed out.
Okay.
Like all the characters are. Let me look up.
I like the Virgin Suicides too. Like
and I will say-
I did enjoy those movies. What's up?
The Last Showgirl isn't streaming anywhere because it's still in theaters. I just double checked.
Oh,
that,
okay,
yeah.
cool. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to catch that when
I
it
saw
comes
it in
out.
theaters for sure.
We
Nice.
have a. Yeah.
So is it Sophia Gia Francis? Has Francis made too many shitty movies that puts him all the way down? Or
Nah, Francis is up there because he made The Godfather.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
What a film, by the way. I
He also
finally
made,
got to
he
watch
also made
that.
Peggy Sue Got Married, which
I
rules.
don't like that movie.
Oh, that's right. You
I
didn't like it. Yeah.
hated Nicolas Cage, and it's so what is he doing?
Yeah. It's
I don't
a
know.
lot.
I've never seen
it's
it.
a lot.
Look,
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
I thought.
Okay.
But I know why Kourtney didn't like it. Yeah. It's understandable.
Gotcha.
What's
your number 4?
Yeah.
am I number 4?
Yeah.
Snake. Time to do number 4.
Snake. Well, guess what? My number 4 we already talked about was hundreds. Of
Hundreds.
beavers.
Hell
Not
yeah.
even 100.
That movie
Hundreds.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
Multiple beavers.
Many
Yeah.
beavers.
Did we want to do another like big like quick refresher on it since this could
Do you
be
wanna take it,
somebody's-
or
You know
you
what?
want me to?
Actually, we didn't touch on that. This movie, because it's so indie, it actually
Yeah.
came out a couple years ago, and it's
Yes.
kind of
It
been
premiered
in,
at festivals. Yeah. A few
Yes,
years ago, yeah.
but it really
It wide release this
wide
year.
release
Yeah.
this year, and
Gotcha.
I hesitated to put it on my list at all at first.
Sure.
But I had such a good time with it
Yeah.
that I was like, nah, I really liked
See,
it.
I feel like this movie is going to be my BlackBerry this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
think
could see
you'll
that.
like it. Like,
I'm gonna
it's-
check it out.
I can loan you the Blu-ray. Oh no, it's on my Plex.
yeah.
Too.
And well, it's also
yeah.
the free streaming on.
It's on Tubi.
Google.
It's on
So-
Frozo.
folks, it's on Tubi, or go check it out. But yeah, the premise is it's like a Charlie Chaplin like Looney Tunes cartoon. Like
it's slapstick all the way through.
black and white, like not fully silent, but the characters don't really talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very cartoony, but it's live action. But there is like some animated elements to it. But it's it's so funny.
Yeah.
There's like video game like elements into it where it's like it starts cribbing like Metal Gear and Zelda, like and like
No
such
shit.
a like you'll be pointing at the screen doing the
I'm the
Leo
Leo
meme,
meme.
you know?
I love Leo
yeah,
meme.
it's
So good.
it's great. It's really like it's very inventive, and it was such a fun time. Like we were watching it while our baby was asleep, and we were stifling our
Trying not to
laughs,
laugh.
trying not to
Yeah.
wake up the baby, kind of thing.
The
you
fact
know?
that it made us laugh out loud multiple times,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I will say early on, I'll give away a bit that happens early on to the movie to give people like an idea of like the kind of humor in this movie.
Yeah.
And it happens like within the first like 15 minutes. But so this fur trapper is like trying to catch these rabbits, right? And the rabbits are just guys in like clearly obvious like fur suits kind of thing. But he's trying to lure these rabbits so that he can like hunt them and skin them. And at one point he builds like a snowman, but it's like a snow bunny and it has like tits. And
Breasts.
like big like
Be
snow
respectful.
breasts, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. And the bunny walks by it and looks at it and then like doesn't change an expression. And then another rabbit like comes out from behind him and they're holding hands and it's two guy rabbits and they just kind of look at it and shake their heads and walk away. And then the fur trapper goes, and just kind of shrugs his shoulders and he goes, okay. You know?
That's
like,
silly.
That was the first big laugh that the movie got for me because
Okay,
it's throwing a lot at you at first and it's
Yeah.
a little rough, but once it did that, I was like, okay, I'm in. I get
in.
what this movie is. It's
Gotcha.
very fun. So many like slapstick, like Chaplin-esque elements, you know.
it's just silly.
It's so
It's a
silly,
fun
but in a
time.
very good way.
And right now, we need the laughter.
we need this.
Yeah,
we need it.
we
You
do.
know
That's
what?
true.
Bring it back. But yeah, it's also out in physical media if you want to buy the Blu-ray.
There you go.
But it's streaming for free on Tubi too. William,
Yep.
what is your number 4?
Number 4 is, and this was the top 3 was really difficult for me, and it's a shame that this got pushed out of it. But
Yeah.
I once again, re-listening or listening to that YouTuber talk about things that he really enjoyed last year reminded me of of certain things. So unfortunately, this movie got pushed out of top 4 or top 3. It is Nosferatu by Robert Eggers.
Good time.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
you're surprised.
Someone finally said it.
Yeah.
It didn't make my list,
Okay.
and I was wondering if it would make your guys' list.
Yeah, so Nosferatu is directed by Robert Eggers and stars Rose Depp, Nicholas Hoult, and Bill Skarsgård, and also Willem Dafoe. I'm not gonna not talk. Yeah,
So good.
Yeah, I love this movie. This was a great one, a watch. It was once again a director with intentionality. weirdly have a fondness for the original, as I stated in our other episode, and I've watched this like 4 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters, and then the moment it went streaming, like a couple weeks ago, me and my wife, we purchased this and Sonic 3, and then we watched Sonic 3 with our son. He went to sleep. We watched Nosferatu, and then we had some friends come over. We played Silent Hill up until like 9 o'clock, and then we watched Nosferatu.
Fun.
So I've been watching. I think my wife has watched it like 4 times. She saw it twice in theaters.
That's great.
Yeah, it was good. It's good. Like the set is fantastic. Like old Germany.
Costumes and the set design.
The costumes are immaculate. Everybody looks like fucking awesome. I wish I could dress like that, all the time. Watching it again, you catch more and more little things. It's just like, it's so good and so well acted, man. I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
I wish I liked it more. It's my least favorite Robert Eggers.
No, I
hate that.
But that's because it's not an original thing. Like, it's not an original thought. It's a remake.
Having seen Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula really tainted it for me.
Yeah, you were poisoned by that, which I understand.
Burdened by it, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm sorry. That sucks.
It happens,
Yeah, it's true.
I had the same.
You had the same problem?
I had the same problem.
Yeah.
I thought it was a completely original IP, and I go in because I
knew that IP wasn't. Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I thought it was a whole new vampire story, and I was so excited.
Yeah.
I stayed away. I went in so blind. All I knew was Nicholas Hoult was in it.
Yeah.
And I only knew that because I saw a trailer on Hulu while I was watching something on the elliptical, so I couldn't skip it.
I gotcha.
But I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah.
But going in, I was like, oh man, wait. I know this story.
It's just Dracula.
Yeah.
It's Dracula. And I went hard into Dracula a couple years ago. I read the book. I watched the movie. Once they started to go through, I was like, oh man, now I know all the beats to the movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we got to meet Renfield and we got to go on the boat.
Yep.
And I'm just like,
The friend's gonna die.
A friend's gonna die. But it was really good. And it was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was
Robert
amazing.
Eggers can't make a bad movie.
No, it's true.
No, it was so good.
Yeah.
I do feel like a complete fool for going in and being like, oh, wait, I know this movie like the back of my hand. And I tried to not know anything about it.
Yeah, same. I tried not to even watch the trailers after the initial teaser one. And I was like, I don't want to know anything else. Don't show me nothing.
Yeah,
And
I'm in.
Damn, I'm so sorry, guys.
It should have been okay, just it's good.
Yeah.
His next movie better not be that fucking Labyrinth sequel. I don't want him to make any more sequels or remakes.
Well, here's the
But
thing:
he's
is
really
I
good
thought it was
at
going to be
it.
Frankenstein. I thought he was.
Oh,
I've heard the Labyrinth thing, but I know that he wants to do Frankenstein.
I saw a still of that. Who is he doing it?
No, that's
not
Guillermo
his.
del
That's
Toro,
Del Toro's.
Right.
which
And
is
it's,
probably going to fuck
the other guy
Oh,
from
yeah.
Euphoria.
Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac's not in Euphoria.
Silly.
He's in the Frankenstein movie. He's the only known
No,
cast
it's
member. I thought.
the guy who played Elvis. Nate.
Oh,
From
yeah.
Euphoria.
I can't remember his name, but yeah,
Guy.
Huh?
he's also Elvis.
He's also Elvis.
Yeah. Huh?
Hold me.
Anyway,
don't know.
I think it's gonna fuck too.
Yeah, it's gonna fucking roll. But I guess you're you're cracking up for no fucking reason. I don't even know what the fuck
Is it
you're doing.
sleepover vibes time?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. It's getting late here.
Silly.
Oh my gosh! But what I was gonna say is, you're right. It is this week. No,
Don't even.
I don't think it's this week's film. I
Yeah,
think it's The
yeah.
Northman. I don't want to say that because I know that's your number one.
Fuck you.
I know. No, I understand. Here's the thing: is once again, this is much like
we hashed this out on our Nosferatu episode.
much like how
yeah.
Furiosa is 80%
as good as Fury Road.
as Fury
Yeah,
Road.
yeah.
That means it's still hands and
I agree.
heads and shoulders way better than everything
Yeah.
else. So I love The Northman. The Northman is a great film, but it's Hamlet. This is also a great film, but it's Dracula.
Yeah.
It's The Lighthouse and The Vitch, or The Vitch and The Lighthouse, and the other two follow them. I know that you love The Northman. I understand that you do.
No, I'm not about to leap across the table.
Yeah.
I'll
I know.
put the gun away if you really
But
want
it's
me to
I need
drop
you
it.
to.
Say, wow, we're in a real dangerous place right now. This is actually a hostage situation. I should disclose that.
There are police helicopters circling the house right
But
now.
it'd be different if there had just been a Hamlet movie that was so huge in the 90s, and you just read the Hamlet book the other day, and you're like, wait, oh fuck, I didn't realize this is Hamlet.
Fucking spitting. If you had never seen The Lion King and then watched The Lion King a month before you went and saw The Northman, you'd be like, what the fuck? Right? Am I wrong?
You're right.
I'm right. I know I'm right. I'm sorry. I'm doing a bit. Also, for some fucking reason, there is a helicopter always flying around my house. Like the last 3 weeks. I wonder who that is.
Hey, when I lived at my parents' house, there always was, but it's because like cops are always like looking for people out there. It's
Yeah, that's true.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
fucking
Also,
annoying.
the sheriff.
That's where our daughter is right now.
Fuck.
But yeah, sorry. Number 4 is
You know
Nosferatu.
You know how many times like people running from the cops ended up in my parents' yard?
Yeah.
Twice,
Oh,
which
that's
isn't that
crazy.
often, but it's weird that it happened.
It's more
that
than
many
it
times.
should be.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about Nosferatu really
Yeah,
fast?
what's up? Let's hear it.
I really enjoyed the part where Aaron Kickass
Aaron Taylor
is
Johnson.
like talking to his wife on the beach, and he's like, I am so sick of her shit. Like, she is really getting on my fucking nerves. And then they turn around and she's having a seizure. And
orgasm. On the
water,
fucking-
and
yeah.
he's like, oh my fucking God.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
That's so funny.
so
Good
good.
movie. Good movie.
It's really good.
It's good. I'm sorry that it didn't.
I'll
make
give it
on
an
either of yours,
honorable
but-
mention.
Yeah,
I feel
sure.
bad
It
it
was-
didn't make my list. I
No, it's okay.
considered
You
it
don't
for
need
a
to feel
while.
bad though. That's the thing. You don't need to feel bad.
because
It's
these
because-
movies, I owe it to these movies.
You want to like an actor.
All these movies are my children, and I owe it to them.
I got you, dude. I got you. It's all good. All right, but that's it. You are up. Let's hear number 4.
No, it's me. She did number 4.
I'm so fucking
Yeah.
sorry.
She
my
did
bad.
5, 4, and then year 4. I'm
Look,
I'm 4.
I talked about Nosferatu way too long.
It's okay. My number 4 is a movie we haven't talked about yet.
Hell yeah.
It is Nickle Boys, written and directed by Ramel Ross.
Wait a second. I know about this movie. Keep
Okay,
going, then.
okay.
Keep going.
It's based on a book.
I love it when you mention something that I've heard of but I haven't seen and I want to see.
It was really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is it also on yours?
No.
Okay.
I don't have the author of the original book in front of me, but he is like very famous author. But it stars. I want to get these actors in here because I don't know them. They're very young and new. It stars Ethan Heresy, Brandon Wilson, as well as Ingenue Ellis Taylor, Ethan Cole Sharp, and Sam Malone.
Sam Malone?
Not the guy you're thinking
From
of.
Cheers?
No.
The baseball player?
That is pretty funny.
In
That's
Cheers?
his name, though. It also stars the guy from Hamilton, but I don't. They hide his name in the cast list because it's kind of a spoiler for a reason I won't get into. But anyway, it's a fictional movie based on real events. But it is.
That's right.
It's about these 2 young black boys in the 60s. Yeah, 60s. That end up at this like reform school for troubled youth, quote unquote. It's basically like juvie, but like it's like a work farm kind of thing where they would put like young men instead of just throwing them in jail. And like they would do manual labor essentially for free. Like, I mean, yeah, it's basically slavery. But anyway, it's based on a real school in Florida that was called the Dozier School for Boys. That was open from like the 20s and then only closed in 2011 after they started investigating it and found out that there were over 100 dead boys
From the school.
buried on the premises.
What the fuck? That's
Yes.
crazy.
This is a real thing. Like I remember it making headlines when it was coming out, and it was like, oh yeah, from like the 20s all the way up until maybe as recently as the 80s, they were kids that were being killed either through neglect or abuse or straight up murder.
fucking crazy. Dude.
And they're still like digging up bodies, I think, to this day. It's a real fucking tragedy.
That's insane.
Yes.
But this is a movie that's loosely based on those events.
Yeah.
But it takes the literal point of view of 2 of the characters. And I mean that literally.
It's first person.
I
Yeah.
I hate that I'm overusing the word. I'm sorry, but it's
Literally?
almost the entire movie is POV.
That's cool though.
And it's done in a way that's not gimmicky like Hardcore Henry.
Oh,
But what's
hold on,
fun?
hold on.
Come on.
I have a soft spot for that
I
movie.
was gonna say real quick, like, come on, Hardcore Henry, baby.
but
We
like
loved
it's
it.
not a genre film like that at all.
Sure.
It does this to like really put you in the shoes of the characters.
Yeah.
Most of the movie is from one character's point of view, and then when he meets another character, like early on, it starts to switch to his point of view instead. And what's really fascinating is like the first time that it switches to that other boy's point of view, and he looks at the character that you've been most of the movie, you kind of feel like you're looking at yourself a little bit. It's really fascinating because you're like, oh, I've never seen
This person before.
what this person looks like.
Yeah.
I've only been seeing through their eyes. Excuse me. And when it does that trick, it's really neat. It's really arresting to me. I heard some people say that like it was too gimmicky for them. They felt like it was distracting or showing off. I didn't agree. I thought it was really well done. And it does another thing where it shows a character in the future. I won't say who to spoil it or anything, but it shows a character in the future a couple of times. It'll cut to them. And instead of being through their eyes, the camera is like attached to the back of their head.
Okay.
And so you're seeing the events around them, but it's kind of like a third person shooter, like video games, to use video game terms. Like you're seeing from like directly behind them.
Almost over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder. Yes, exactly. It's attached to like their point of view, but you're not seeing through their eyes. You're just seeing the back of their head. So you kind of get a hint of like who this person is. But you're a little bit more detached because it's like 30, 40 years in the future. It's an incredible movie. It is a movie about traumatic events happening to like, to black
kids,
children.
Yeah.
But it's not trauma porn. And I think that's very important. It's not like 12 Years a Slave or something where you're watching horrible things happen.
That was
to people.
a movie.
It doesn't focus on the trauma, I should say. When the worst things happen, the film kind of assaults your senses with like fan noise and like intense visual stimuli without showing you the worst things that are happening. It's more implied, which felt like a breath of fresh air. It was like, I get what's happening here and I don't need to know anymore. I don't need to live in that moment, and it pulls it away because it feels like you're kind of living through the person's memories as well, and they don't want to focus on it maybe. And there's more implied than straight up said, because like the boys have conversations where it's like, listen, if you get caught running away, or if you're big enough of a problem, they'll just disappear you. And what they're not saying is like they'll kill you and bury you on the premises.
Yeah.
And like the kids don't actually know to the extent how true that is. It's just whispers among the boys.
Oh, is that why the future person exists, is so that they can cover that? Do they cover that at the end of the movie?
I don't want to get into it.
That's fucking crazy.
Don't want to get into it.
I'll have to check it out because I heard people talking about this, but I didn't really know what the premise was.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the fact that it's based on real events and it happened here where we live, like in our state, and the school was only closed in 2011.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Is horrible. Real fucking bad. One of the things the movie doesn't really say, but will show you, is like, there's boys of varying ages at the school, right? That's essentially like a slave labor camp.
Right.
They're treated more like, prisoners and stuff. But there are like 17-year-olds. Most of them feel like they're 14 or 15. There's even kids that look like they're as young as 7 or 8, though.
Yeah, they're
at the school.
children.
And like the main character will just walk by them and you'll see like
they're in the same class.
A little boy carrying like a bucket of oranges in a grove picking oranges, And it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
There were like little babies like working at this thing because they were black, and they probably got arrested for something
stupid,
insane. Yeah. And I will say the main character like gets picked up early in the movie for a crime he doesn't commit.
Go figure.
Of course. Yeah. But yeah, it's a really, really good movie. I really liked it. The director of this movie made another movie. I need to look up Ramel Ross, Hale County This Morning and This Evening. I heard a lot about it. Came out like 5 years ago and I missed it. I would probably need to go back and check it out now though, because I was so impressed with Nickle Boys. They haven't made a lot of movies. Wow. I really want to check out that movie now. I think this is only like their second feature.
Damn. Impressive.
Yeah, that's good. Really cool. All right. And because it's a snake draft, I have to do my number 3. Okay. I'm really glad I get to talk about this. We did an episode on it. But my number 3 movie of 2024. And okay, let me just preface with this movie technically came out in 2022 at festivals, but it went wide in 2024. So I'm counting it.
Okay.
It is The People's Joker.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to make somebody's list because I realized while we were talking in the last episode, I was like, fuck, nobody said The People's Joker. And I'm going to have to, do an honorable mention at the end of this film about it. So I'm glad that it was on yours.
I think I get why it's not on a lot of people's list, but it made mine because it hit me very personally because like I'm a comedy nerd and a Batman nerd.
Yep.
And when I heard about it, the premise drove me bananas. I was like, I have to see this shit. It's like it started as a parody of Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix movie, and it became so much bigger than that by the time it was a finished product. The movie is written, directed, and stars Vera Drew, who is one of my like stars to watch now. Like I follow her on Blue Sky. Like she's such a fun follow.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to do that.
She's so incredible.
I bet she's funny as fuck too.
She's so fucking funny, dude. But this movie is ostensibly it is a parody, a satire of Joker, the 2018 film, 2019 film.
One of those two.
Whatever.
Who cares?
But it is also a trans coming of age story.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it is a send up of the Batman mythos.
Yeah, celebration of the Batman mythos.
But I mean, Batman's also the villain of the movie.
That's true. Yeah, that does make sense.
It is so fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Her sidekick, the Penguin.
What a fantastic cop
Nathan
role.
Faustin. I don't know this guy. Oh, David Lee Part is also
That's
her,
right.
like,
Yeah, he's in a
her mentor.
Yeah.
I forgot about the weird guy from the Tim and Eric show.
Yes.
If you guys know who that is. But yeah, Nathan Faustin has a line in this movie where he's like, Vera asks him, like, what's your comedy inspired by? He's like, oh, like Louis C.K., but like before the bad stuff.
Before the unpleasantness.
The unpleasantness,
I'm
yeah, that's
always saying that.
So good.
Before the unpleasantness.
This movie was like,
Of course.
laser targeted at me. It also has like a lot of special appearances, like small like cameos by lots of people, like Tim Heidecker, Paul F. Tompkins, Bob Odenkirk, Scott Aukerman. Lots of like just fun little pop-ins by like comedy people that I really love. But the movie itself is so fucking funny. It's constantly making like references or parodies of like all the Batman movies and comics and everything. It's got this really insane style where it's like half the movie is animated.
Yeah.
And it just like the bigger action sequences are all like handed off to different artists and they're done like in like really experimental styles that are just so wild.
Yeah.
The entire movie is green screen when it's live action, and it's for all the insane sets and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But and while it's doing all of this, it's also an incredibly personal story of a trans woman like coming to terms with like, their experience in their life. And it's so wild that they were able to fit like a personal story into like what is both like a celebration and a parody of like of a major property.
Yeah.
And that they had to fight that because it premiered at a festival in 2022. So she won't name who it was, but obviously it was Warner Brothers sent a cease and desist letter.
Yeah, obviously.
And then there was like 2 years of legal battles. And then Vera was finally able to like get an agreement that she hasn't said what it was, but she was able to release the movie as is. I think because basically you just say parody, parody, parody. This is satire, which is allowed under US copyright.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that she's able to get away with is so incredible. There's one of my favorite sequences is a send up of the Party Man scene from 1989's Batman.
Oh yeah,
where it's Joker Man. Oh God, you have to check this movie out. It's so much fun.
it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's streaming on, but you can buy it. You can just straight up buy it.
I believe Marlena's picked it up.
Good.
Physical copy.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I also own one. I would just buy this movie outright. Like this movie
Spend that money.
This is a like very punk DIY like kind of movie. Give it your money. They deserve it. Everyone that worked on this like did an incredible job. It's so much fun. I cannot wait for whatever Vera Drew does next after this.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what they make.
Okay, that brings you to your number 3, Will.
That's true. My number 3 is
Visage?
No, it's Dune 2. Directed by Denis Villeneuve, starring Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, and Rebecca Ferguson.
Yep.
And
I wanted to say
Walken.
I wanted to say
and-
Zendaya, but the wrong way. Zendaya.
Zendaya and Roborker
Ro Barker.
Ferguson.
Yeah, Timothy Chalamet. I'm sorry. Sci-fi is back, baby.
It was so
Man.
good.
So fucking good. Like, god damn it, man. Once again, another fantastic director. Holy shit, he's so good at what he does. I just remember like sitting there slack-jawed when the Fremen were talking about their like beliefs and how water is sacred and that all of your liquid when you die goes into like, god damn it, dude. That was the fucking coolest thing. It was like, it wasn't just the action. It wasn't just the crazy politics. It was the little things.
Like the mythos.
Yeah,
the mythos, man. It's so good.
that line was spoken by Javier Bardem, who you didn't mention in the cast list. This movie has an insane
they've got
cast.
like a crazy, like Christopher Walken, Javier Bardem, who's my favorite person in this.
Who's
movie.
Christopher Walken's daughter too in it?
Was she?
It's the lady
Florence
from
Pugh.
Oh, Florence Pugh. Yeah, Florence Pugh. I love
Yeah.
her. She's great.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin's in it.
Yeah.
Austin Butler as fucking Fade Rotha.
Rotha.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Crazy.
My another favorite of mine in this fucking movie. Dave
who's-
Bautista's in it.
Who's the lady that seduces Fade?
Oh, Leah Sado.
Yes.
Yep, she's
Oh, I
in it.
forgot.
Yep. Stellan Skarsgård as Baron Harkonnen's in this. Like, guys,
This cast list is incredible. You can just keep going
Just
all
goes
day.
on and on.
It's so
no
fucking
one mails
good.
like no one
phoned it in.
phones it in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody was
mailed it in.
kicking some serious fucking ass in this
Yeah.
movie.
and it's a franchise movie.
Yeah.
and at that it's almost a remake. Like it's the 4th or 5th adaptation of Dune.
Yeah.
And I mean, Denny fucking nailed it, dude.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
No one can argue that.
sci-fi has never been so bad.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
and like one of the most complicated works to adapt
yeah,
into a
because
movie.
the guy who wrote this was definitely like on something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
He was on the spice.
Frank Herbert was on it.
Yeah.
but the fact that they were, and I give most of the credit to Denny, I guess. It was a collaborative effort, I'm sure, but like it wasn't like a personal movie like The People's Joker. But but the fact that Denny was able to like make this such a like palatable blockbuster for
Yeah.
like mainstream audiences out of a book that is like famously like
Difficult to get into.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
hard.
You
Like
have to be a
dense. Yeah.
fucking a weirdo. to
yeah,
get into
yeah.
this shit.
And there's so many things that like you find out later like got cut,
Yeah.
yeah, you were telling me he's like, I had to kill my darlings, like
Yeah,
in so many
yeah.
different ways because this movie's long as fuck.
Stephen Hinickley Jr. Was in the first movie.
That's right.
as the Mentat.
That's right, the Mentat. Yep.
I forget his
Two
name. in it.
for Hawat.
Yeah.
Holy shit, good job.
I read
my
Dune.
God, dude, that's awesome.
But he got cut out of this movie,
That's
and
right.
then when everyone found out, they were devastated.
Yeah.
Because like he was an awesome
He
character.
plays
in
a
the first
huge
one.
part too in the book about
Oh shit!
like in what Dune Part 2 covers.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Does he
you
really?
know what?
And they had to.
Oh, he does because he
no.
ends up working with
No.
the Baron.
He hits a betrayal.
No,
Oh.
he's basically kidnapped.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay.
he is given a drug to like keep him working for him.
Oh, okay.
But it's so good.
It's
so
too much.
good.
This movie is 2
It's
hours
too
and like
much.
fucking 50
Well, and
minutes
it's one of
long.
those things where like
How long is this fucking movie?
I'm sure most of the audience of the movie could go and check out the books, and they wouldn't be able to get into it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
2
they're-
It's a hard
hours.
read. It really
Yeah,
is difficult.
I gave up on it.
2 hours and 46 minutes.
because it's so dense.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's
There's
just like
so much.
It overloads you with information,
but somehow like
and the movie's able to like parse that in
Yes.
such an intelligible
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Like Denny is like he's my favorite living director. I say that because like
George Miller's almost dead.
yeah, that's,
Just kidding.
but like he's just so capable of like showing you so much without having to tell you.
Right.
And like that is truly like one of the best things a director can do.
Mhm.
And George Miller's right up there, but like
Yeah.
Denny is just, I don't think he's made a bad movie. Like,
Yeah, I love Arrival. Right? That was.
oh yeah. Arrival was when I started to like learn who he was.
Yeah.
And then Prisoners.
Prisoners is
Blade Runner
fantastic.
2049
Yep.
and so on and so
Yeah.
forth. Yeah, just holy shit. It is my number 2.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
wondering
Actually-
when it was going to. Oh.
yeah, it's my number 2 as well.
Wow.
Yeah. Dune
Fuck
Part 2,
yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
So fucking good,
It's just
man.
everything that Dune 1 did pays off
Yeah,
so
yeah,
heavily
yeah.
in Dune
Yes.
Part 2, where it's like, wow, all that stuff that we learned was like homework. And
Yep.
now it's like, oh, we are
You
just
get to relish in
enjoying.
it,
Yes,
yeah.
we're relishing in all the information.
And there were people that were mad that Dune was split into 2 movies. And I'm like,
It
well, they're
had to have
both
been.
over 2 hours long.
Yeah.
It's so economical with what it does, though.
Mhm.
And it's taking a book that is like, what, 3
You could
inches
kill
thick?
somebody with it easily.
Yeah. It is dense. It is a dense novel, and it is split into 2 parts in the novel, right? Am I not wrong about
There's
that?
there's
There's
multiple,
multiple
books.
parts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then there's multiple books. Like, I can't wait for Dune
well, yeah,
Messiah.
there's like at least 8 books
Courtney,
that
that
the main
shit's gonna
author
go
Dude, I was reading it. I'm reading Dune Messiah, and like the things that they do, I'm just like,
What? Yeah.
this is happening in the same world that all the other
Yeah.
the book covered. Like, there's so much still.
And we mentioned David Lynch in the last episode. Shout out to a legend that passed
Yes, rest in
this-
peace.
in 2025, unfortunately. And he made his own version of Dune in 1984.
This is correct.
And it was,
It's
Panned.
beloved by some.
it is beloved by some. It's like a cult classic.
Yeah.
And I remember when Dune was coming out, like interviewers were asking Denny what he thought of it. And he was very diplomatic. He's like, it's not my Dune, but it's very good,
Mhm.
and it is an interpretation. And also
Yeah.
that the production of that movie was very complicated.
fraught with.
Yeah, he was. I know he was thrown onto it last minute. There's a whole documentary about like the original, how it was originally planned, and the director that was originally going to make it. He was like a really insane director.
Yeah.
What was his name? George?
I can never get his name right.
The guy who does
El Topo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
You know that guy. You know.
The very experimental arty film guy who like had a really insane vision and then went to Dino De Laurentiis and was like, it's going to cost like $8 trillion. And he's like, okay, no, you're fired. And then they brought on David Lynch at the last minute and he's like, okay, I'm going to do it with
I can do it for 12.
This beautiful young boy called Kyle MacLachlan.
Wow.
And it started a whole thing. Yeah. But anyway, Dune, man. It's in all of our top 3.
It's so good.
Yeah. There was no fucking way that this movie was not going to be in my top 3.
Yeah.
It was number 2 for me originally, but once again,
It almost made all of our top 2. Wow.
Yeah, it almost did. But God, what a movie! I'm so excited for the next one.
I know.
Dude,
How long is it going to be? Do we know?
I don't give a shit if it's 5 fucking hours. I don't care.
No, I don't even mean that. I mean,
until
like,
it's out.
when can I watch it?
Oh,
Yeah,
isn't it like 2 more years from now? Isn't it 2027?
It may be because COVID fucked up part 2.
Yeah.
So maybe it won't take him as long for the other one.
I don't know.
And
We'll
it made
see.
so much money that Warner Brothers is like, do it now. You know?
But he's only signed on for 3.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he is. And then
I want him to move on and make something
I don't
else.
know. Because,
Yeah.
like, to my knowledge, I haven't gotten there yet, but I think Children of Dune, people say, is like kind of the last good one. I might be wrong.
The further we get into the books, the more crazier it gets, and you're gonna have to
it's
find somebody who
insane.
can navigate that shit and do it properly. And like Denny is interpreting the shit amazingly.
But I say I want him
I know you
out
want
of
him
the
to do his
franchise.
own thing.
I
understand.
hate when directors get attached to franchises.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
He's doing such a good job.
I know
Who could
you- I know-
do it like that?
But he could make it better original films. Yeah.
I'm gonna defend Jared just briefly on this one.
How dare?
I know, I'm so sorry. But much like how Nosferatu is his least favorite Eggers film, Eggers can do better because he can do better original films. I think that's what he's saying about Denny. Now, that being said, I would also like to be on all the Dune series.
Yeah.
I really like.
Would he make the best Dune movie of anybody?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
sure.
course.
But like, I would rather Denny spread his wings. And
I got
just
you, I
make
understand.
original,
Maybe
yeah.
it is just being like, just like the art, it deteriorates in the books.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you get a worse director.
Yeah.
The books are also worse.
Yeah, they
so
get
yeah, it just makes
worse,
sense.
so-
Okay.
Bring in Denny's son, and he'll make a really insane one where they have to
Like
fight.
Miyazaki.
This happened in Dune.
It happens to the Dune books too.
Oh.
Yeah, his son takes over.
Frank Herbert
Oh,
dies.
that's right, he died, that's
and
right,
his
that's right,
son
that's right.
took over the
I'm
novels.
sorry,
and
yes,
they
you're
get
right.
really batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
But I mean,
They're
Messiah
already
is already batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you guys something that happens in it?
I if it's the thing that I think
Is this the
you're
thing
gonna
that everyone talks about the worm?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
What is it? What?
There's a character. I mean, this is introduced very early on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a character who is like a fish man who lives in a aquarium of spice.
he's in the David Lynch movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was when
An
when
aquarium
he
of
is
spice?
introduced, I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is this? I thought we knew all of the people, and now there's like all these other aliens.
Is it water with spice in it?
It's
to
like-
me, it
it's like
seems like
spice
it is
juice,
just
yeah.
spice juice. Yeah,
Spice
is.
juice?
Yeah.
it is like
And
the
the-
color of it is like orange, red, like the spice.
Oh, it's black in the movie.
Fucking
Well.
crazy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's crazy, dude. That's wild.
Courtney, is it your number 3, right?
It is my number 3,
Yeah.
but we've already talked about
Hold
it.
on, Courtney, real quick, you'd really like Warhammer. I'm just gonna let you know that.
You know what? I love stupid shit.
That is right up your fucking
I
alley.
love lore and dumb shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Anyways, continue.
All right, my number 3 is Challengers.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But hey, Challenges was talked about in the last
We talked about it
episode, so you
last
can
episode,
Give
so-
me everything you got on Challengers. Let's hear it.
Man, I love Challengers. I thought it was so good. It's 3 people who are amazing at their craft, and it is all they care about, even though to us it is the most inconsequential thing to exist.
You compared it to a sport anime. in
It
the
is
last
truly
episode.
a sport anime.
Yeah.
It's just all these different characters interacting and one-upping each other. And in the previous episode, I hinted about a theory I had.
Let's
So I'm
hear
going
it.
to spoil it a little bit.
That's fine,
Okay.
dude. Do it.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
They're the 2 main the boys.
The boys, yeah.
the 2 white
There's so
boys.
much they're obviously in love with each other.
100%.
They love each other. So part of me is almost like, is Zendaya real? think about it in this way. Like there are parts in the movie where you're like, okay, she is obviously a real person because they have a family.
Yeah.
But like, think about it. Could she just be a stand-in for tennis?
She could be. And the only reason why I think that she does exist is because, as you pointed out in the last episode, one of the characters is disciplined, but he needs to practice. He has to stay at the top. He can't be vibes-based. And he's kind of an unmotivated, once again, soy-pilled dude. And so I think that if we were going to go abstract with it,
right?
I think Zendaya would have to be real.
I mean, I absolutely know she is real.
Okay.
But think about it if she wasn't. Is she just the driving force between them?
If there was no kid,
right? You could be like, hold up.
Yeah, you make an excellent point because like she is almost the spirit of tennis too.
Yes.
When they talk about how like I love they both are like we love watching you because when you win or when you're in it, you're locked in and you're doing your thing. She's exhilarated. She's like amped on. She's a completely different person, and so you could state that she is the spirit of the game.
Yeah,
and these two are pursuing that. They want excellence.
Yes,
and she is excellence in tennis.
But even when you were saying like, well, one is vibes based and the other one is like dedication based.
Yeah.
Wasn't vibes based better?
He was
earlier when he had the spirit of tennis behind him, right?
That's true. Maybe. Yeah.
Sorry, Jared.
That's crazy.
No, it's fine. I love hearing you guys like into it.
Yeah,
it was so
I'm
good.
listening to the podcast now.
I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending made me just be like, yes, like, oh, because they love tennis and they love each other.
It's true.
They really do.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
You know what's wild is something completely different, but goes to your point, right? I don't think you've ever seen the show G Gundam, right?
Yes, I have.
You have watched G Gundam?
Yes, I have.
Okay. What is the thing that Domon Kashi says all the time is they're speaking through their fists. You can never truly know somebody until you fight them. And that is...
no, that's Brad Pitt in Fight Club.
Oh, he does say that too, doesn't he? No, does he actually say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well...
I'm teasing, but yeah, he does say that.
Fight Club came out in 99. G Gundam came out in 94.
Shit.
Yeah, so eat shit. I'm just kidding.
Chuck
Powell
probably
was like watching
it.
it.
Yeah, canceled. But anyways, he says that all the time. Is like even in certain episodes where Domon sits on the side and the two other characters are fighting, it's he's like talking about like it's poetry. They're speaking to each other through their fists. These guys are speaking to each other through the game. You can never truly know somebody until you've played a game that is a one-on-one and competitive, like cards, fighting games, actual martial arts, any kind of competitive sport where it's you versus one other person, where you can you can read the other person's mind before they do something. It's fucking beautiful.
It was.
And that's Challengers.
I don't want to spoil, but like when he reads the other one's mind at the end and you're like, oh shit.
Yes.
It's so, Jared, you've got to watch this movie.
You sold me on
you
it.
did. You didn't?
No.
I was in the background while she was
And you know what? Just like watching an anime. Truly just like watching an anime.
Yeah.
Every time he would come out was during like the
Something
threesome
really
scene
raunchy,
when there was something raunchy, and I was like, this movie really isn't.
It's way more than
that. You
It's
just
way
it was
more.
like an anime
That's
where
not
you
how
just
Blue Sky sold it to me.
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, it was so good.
I think you did read a Letterboxd review for me or something like that. I was like, oh, this is really good. Dude, I fucking loved that movie.
Yeah.
It is a shame it's on number 8, but like the other things that it's watch bias.
You know, I'm honestly starting to think, is Challengers my number one? Like, it was so
I
good.
feel like you were having so much fun talking about it. Yeah, you're selling yourself even more
I'm like,
on it.
wow, that was a good movie. At least number 2. My number 1 I really liked, but Challengers I think was technically a better movie. But you know what? Spoiler.
Well, your
We'll get
number
into
2
it.
was Dune Part 2, right?
My number, we're just going into it. Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
So good.
Do you wanna-
Loved it.
You have anything else to say that we didn't say earlier?
I think you're the
Books.
authority on it too because you've read the books.
Yeah, you're
and it
more well-read
honestly,
on it
is so faithful. Like the things that they leave out are big, but not really necessary to the plot. Like, wow, I don't. You know what? I shouldn't be spoiling Dune Part 2 with Dune book.
Yeah.
Well, I can speak to something. I know there's a part in Part 2 where Feyd-Rautha attacks the settlements of the
Fremen.
The Fremen, And in the book, it's a much bigger deal because Chani and Paul have a child there.
Yeah.
And they don't have
they
a
have a
kid
kid
yet.
in
That's
the
right.
book.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid gets killed in that
Yes.
attack, and they don't even have
Yeah.
a kid in the movie.
Yeah, it's Leto. Leto Jr.
And so it's more impactful in the book almost. You know?
Yeah, because you're. Oh yeah.
Yeah, without getting too much spoilers, but I remember reading that and being like, "Holy shit, that must have." So that scene makes it's way more impactful emotionally, and it's why he decides
he's
to
like, "Oh, we are on."
why it really pushes him to become more of a leader, because he's very hesitant the whole movie, where he's like, "I don't want to do this because I've had the visions. I know what's going to happen if I do this." You know.
Even then, though,
but it's
movie
still
is better than book.
Yeah.
Because the
still
things
doesn't.
that are
it's economical. It's
economical.
Great. Yeah.
It's just better. There are some relationship things. Oh, you know what? My back to back though. It's the year of Zendaya.
Yeah.
See,
Oh no!
I've been
brain
doing
poison.
it. I've been
I
doing it
gotta think
nonstop
like
too.
day and night.
Yeah.
Zendaya.
But yeah, Challenger's fantastic. Dune,
She's so
Dune 2.
good.
And they were like, those two movies came out like within months of each other, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. Was she in anything else this year? I feel like she was. One other thing. It doesn't matter. She's great in Euphoria.
Whatever she's in, she's like beautiful.
Yeah, she's great.
Do
She's
you think there's
fantastic.
going to be a season 3?
They
I don't know.
I don't know, because I know that both Hunter Schafer and Zendaya
Are like done with it, right?
Yeah, they don't want to deal with.
Because isn't
Yeah.
the guy kind
The
of
guy.
a creep?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that the other movie really
The
show,
The Idol.
kind of really poisoned.
It's just where it ended.
Allegedly.
Season 2, I'm like,
so good,
so good. The play?
dude.
I want to know.
I love that show was so fucking
It's good.
But to her point about Denny, never leave Dune. Like, I understand
Don't.
as a person who's read the book and him like taking what's on the pages and putting on the screen and it being so well done, I can understand your want for him to stay,
Yeah.
and continue to do these.
I want
do
to
these
stay
films, man.
good.
Yeah, I understand, man. So I get it.
Will, what was your number 2?
It was The
2024?
Substance.
Hell
It's
yeah.
so
it was just-
good.
it was
Let's
The
go back
Substance.
into it. Jump back in.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because it was Laurent.
It's on the last
Mhm.
episode. Yeah.
The Substance, the elevator pitch is, hey, what if you could take a drug where you could be young again and hot and do hot girl stuff?
Do hot girl
Only
shit.
for 7 days
Only
at
for
a
7 days
time.
at a time. Yep. I really liked this movie. Like, I loved how it was a takedown of exploitative male bosses. I love how it was a takedown on
Dennis Quaid playing himself, I guess.
yeah, 100%, dude. And like, did you notice that every time that he was the focus, they did use a fisheye lens?
Yes.
to just make him even more grotesque.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
ugh,
Such a nasty
cowering,
person.
disgusting.
Exactly. And also like how far would you go to keep your youthfulness, you know? And also like, man, the one scene that I want to talk about, and I love this scene, is Demi Moore is trying to take back her power. She's trying to embrace the fact that she has aged, but she is still beautiful. And she's trying to go on a date with some, random loser that she couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And she puts on her makeup and she's just not happy with what she sees in the mirror. And then she does it again and again and again and just keeps messing it up. And apparently she did that take like 40 something times. And the person who worked on makeup like had to tell the director, we got to stop because she's bruising her face.
Oh,
From the
man.
smushing.
From the
Oh,
smushing.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
one of the posters.
and it's so
yeah.
hard to
Yeah,
get
it's really-
makeup off some like lipstick and mascara. Oh,
Yeah. And
Man.
even Demi Moore like said that the role was really personal to her because she feels like she's not beautiful
It
anymore.
almost feels like it was written for her because
Yeah.
it's about a starlet, like a movie starlet who has now become a fitness TV show host.
Yeah.
Which
Like a
that's,
Jane Fonda.
That's more of a Jane Fonda thing,
Yeah.
right.
But
But Demi Moore was
it tracks.
like right. She
'Cause
was
Jane
like,
Fonda was a super hottie. Is
yeah.
a super hottie.
but
Yeah, I
Demi
was like,
Moore
that's-
was a big movie star in the 80s and 90s,
Right.
and like was famous for
She's a babe.
being a model. Yeah, and but has like fallen from the limelight lately.
But that what you just said right there is the point, right? She's still got it.
Oh, yeah.
You can,
Yeah.
Still got
you
the
can
juice.
age and still be beautiful.
Yeah.
And,
She's
and-
also playing like 14 years younger than she actually is in this
yeah.
movie, which speaks to like how
Wow.
Hollywood already is. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's 64 and she's playing 50 in this movie. I
Yeah.
think it's her 50th birthday in the movie.
yes.
And it's like, no, she's actually 60 fucking 4.
Amazing.
Doesn't look it. Yeah.
And there's that, and then obviously it goes off the fucking rails and it's crazy. Like
And it
love
just becomes like a wonderfully camp horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like without going too far, the body horror gets more horrific and horrific and horrific to the point where I'm like, I can't even look at this anymore. And then it becomes even more and more and more horrific to the point where I'm like, we are so far removed from the reality that it's like, I'm loving this again.
It crosses a threshold and it's fully self-aware that it's no longer squeamish. It's just fun.
And you know what? Now, I'm not sure that is a spoiler because like just from the premise of the movie.
I think it's worth telling people ahead of time because I would have appreciated knowing it too, you know?
I did unfortunately get spoiled by the last the transformation.
Bummer.
I know. I was
watching that with not knowing anything that's going on. I remember when it does that and like it doesn't jump the shark, but it jumps the shark. I was like, dude, this movie is fucking crazy and I'm loving it.
Yes.
Do you have the director's name in front of you?
I
forgot her name, but I know she did that revenge movie too.
Yes. Which I mentioned in the last
I really want to
well.
check out because
you should.
But I'm telling you right now, it does not jump the shark in any way, shape, or form like that. It is just a hard
I understand
watch.
it has some
It's a
rough
hard watch.
depictions
It is a
of some
hard watch, but you
It's
are
fun.
cheering. No. I'm talking about Revenge.
Oh, okay.
Revenge is a hard
movie,
watch, and you're cheering for the protagonist the whole time. Every time that
is it I should just say, is it a rape revenge movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought I heard.
So like the subject matter is awful, but once again, this is a character. Sorry, this is a director who is unafraid to tackle really difficult subjects and put the gross reality in front of you, and then
a very visceral feminist, filmmaker,
and then takes that and tries to give you something to cheer for. I think that's an accurate representation of her films. I'm looking forward to whatever she's doing next. Give yourself breaks.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a lap.
But yeah, this Substance is very like visually inventive and
it looks beautiful, man.
So
It really
she's doing
does.
stuff with different camera lenses. She's got all this crazy color whenever
the
she's
color really
youthful,
pops.
Margaret Qualley, and then whenever it's Demi Moore, it's not nearly as colorful. It's dour, man, and like it really just makes everything feel like filtered through this sad lens. And once again, Dennis Quaid on the film or on film is fish-eyed, nasty, fucking sweaty, greasy, just gross. Yeah, he did just show up and just read his lines and fucked off.
That's I think a blank check joke, right?
I think that's where I'm stealing that from.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Do you think that if they had Harrison Ford instead, it would be that role would have been better or worse?
Whoa.
Because Harrison Ford is the rich man's Dennis Quaid.
You're right. I've never thought about that until you said that, and then I'm like, wait, they really are like.
Yeah.
They kind of look alike,
Yeah.
but I don't know him to play creeps and stuff.
Well, here's
Let's say he did.
Let's say he did.
But that's kind of the twist in I'm gonna ruin an old movie. What
Blade
Lies
Runner.
Beneath? No, I think it's called What Lies Beneath. But you find out that like this woman's being haunted by a ghost, and it turns out it's like this woman that he had an affair with, and he was like, and now he's going to kill his wife, and the ghost was trying to warn her the whole movie.
Oh, that's wild. Is that Dennis
cool.
Quaid? Or
But
is
you
that Harrison
never
Ford?
expect it coming because it's Harrison Ford. Like he
gotcha.
wouldn't be a philanderer or an evil person. You know what I mean? Because he's a wonderful man.
Carrie Fisher.
Moving on.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
If
that's right.
Harrison
I forgot
Ford
about
played that part. I don't know if he would have done as good as a job because
No, I
he's
agree.
not unhinged like
Exactly.
Dennis Quaid is.
Exactly.
Well, so the reason why I even said that is because I remember watching what is that sci-fi movie? It's a horror movie, Pandorum. I remember watching Pandorum.
Oh
movie
yeah,
and being like,
that movie rules.
yeah,
man.
it does.
Yeah.
And Dennis Quaid's the whatchamacallit. And I was
He's like, look at the sky. It's all black.
yeah. And
Oh
so
yeah,
I remember
that movie.
I remember watching
think
that
about that a lot.
movie and being like, damn, Harrison Ford should have had this role, right? And then you think about Enemy
In that
Mine.
movie, yeah.
And Enemy Mine is a cheap sci-fi movie where it's good.
Yeah.
But like the guy looks like Harrison Ford, but it's Dennis Quaid. Yeah. Every single time I see Dennis Quaid, I think to myself,
in
it's
the
like
90s, he was like a second-rate Harrison Ford for sure.
He's picking up those bits that he leaves behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it feels like, oh man, we can't get Harrison Ford. He's flying his stupid fucking chopper around. Somebody call Dennis Quaid.
Yeah. He's the Mike Mitchell to Josh Gad, you know.
Aww.
That's a joke for Alex.
We love you, Alex.
Who's the other guy? The one who's in the what is his name?
Griffin Newman to Josh Gad.
No.
Are you talking about the guy from What We Do in the Shadows show?
No, I'm talking about the guy who is in what is that one about the okay, he's on I, Tonya. He's one of the
Fuck. Paul something, right?
Paul Walter Hauser.
Paul Walter Hauser
Cut
to
everything
Mike
I
Mitchell.
said and just input what I said right there.
Just say, do it clean real quick, like
Paul
or the
Walter Hauser.
no. Just say Mike Mitchell to Paul Walter Hauser.
No.
All right, now
Make it work.
Bake it in.
Why are you making my job harder? Okay,
Just leave it
you
in.
have to watch Allison while I edit this.
We're having a good time.
We are having a good time. But yeah, I like The Substance. I'm shocked.
Hell yeah.
I really am shocked that this one made it above Nosferatu and even Dune 2. But this movie is fucking crazy. I haven't even rewatched
I was
Dune
shocked
2.
you liked it because it gets campy, and you normally hate camp.
So A, shut the fuck up. And
You hate fun.
And B, shut the fuck up. And C, it was like the front load of this movie was everything that I fucking love,
Yeah.
right? And then the subject matter was
Feminism.
everything.
You love
that-
feminism.
I do, and I hate periods. And also, I'm 6'2", by the way, and I work out. But like, everything at the front of this movie is like stuff that I enjoy. I like the subject matter. I liked the way it was filmed. I liked the body horror. I liked all that stuff. And then the resolution to the conflict is something absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't look away. It was like a train wreck.
Well, it starts blasting metal, and
Yeah.
without spoiling anything
Yeah.
else, I don't want to get into it.
But like that was crazy, but that was fun to watch in a way. And like, you know, it was just like, where is this going? I need to know where this is going, you know, and it gets wild. I love this movie. It's great.
Where could it go from
Where
there?
could it go?
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Oh yeah, God.
So yeah, that's why I liked it.
I want to give a shout out to the production company that released it, Mubi, MUBI. They produced this movie and put it out there. Mubi is its own streaming service.
That's right.
Which I highly recommend. It's really cool. And it's also out on Blu-ray through Mubi's release. And they only have like 4 or 5 movies on Blu-ray.
Well, this one's a fucking winner.
Yeah. But yeah, go check it out on Mubi. It got nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture.
Good.
It did.
Can you believe
Which
that?
finally,
Yeah. Incredible.
horror is being recognized.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Truly incredible.
Did
Yeah.
Nosferatu didn't get anything?
It may have gotten like set or costume.
You know who didn't get an Oscar nomination?
Challengers.
Yeah, and people, even for score.
And it
Yeah.
was so
Which,
good.
what the fuck? Like, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross have been nominated and have won before because
Yeah.
they make the best scores. But yeah.
And Amelia Perez has got 14 nominations or whatever. Like this year fucking sucks.
We need to talk about that really fast. I should have brought this up when I
Do you want to do
People's
this at
Joker.
the end of the?
No.
No, okay.
This was 2024 was a great year for trans filmmakers.
Yep.
I
saw
have
the TV
2
Glow.
on my list. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the TV Glow and the People's Joker.
Yeah.
And Amelia Perez is getting and winning a lot of awards, getting nominated and winning a lot of awards.
Yeah.
And I have not seen it, but it's because I refuse to watch it. Kourtney did see it, so she
I
can speak
did
to
watch
it.
it. Ugh.
Yeah,
Yuck.
famously it is very bad.
It's not good.
It was not written or directed by a trans person,
Or
it
a
does
Hispanic
star
person.
a trans person,
Or a Hispanic person.
However, it's come to light that the star is super racist. Do you not know that? Do you not know about
Every single week is a new,
I know.
a new thing about this fucking
this? So
movie.
many nominees have been canceled lately, but
Wild.
so the star, I forget her name. I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but
It's fine. Who cares?
this is bad news for
Yeah.
her. But a lot of tweets have come to light of hers
Yeah.
that were incredibly racist. I read through some of them, and of course, she was deleting them as people were like finding them recently.
The internet never forgets, baby.
And they were like Islamophobic. They were racist. There was stuff about the George Floyd protests that were not good. Yeah, so very bad. She's in a lot of hot water for it. But yeah, they were much more deserving
Absolutely.
films by trans filmmakers that I didn't get nominated. And
yes, I
it's
saw
very
TV Glow didn't get
disappointing.
anything.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
It's really fucking disappointing.
Like no cinematography. Like, come on.
It's
Yeah.
such
But
a shame. But yeah, Amelia
shouldn't-
Perez. Ugh.
But also fuck the Oscars. Like
Yeah, this is true.
we shouldn't hold it in such high regard because that's the thing. That's how you give them the power, and that's kind of the duality of like the whole issue with.
This was the discussion we had even last year, and I went on a rant about how like Toni Collette got fucking snubbed for
Yes.
Hereditary, and
Yep.
I'll never forgive them.
Yeah.
So
it's such a complicated thing because like
Yeah.
I try not to talk about the Oscars that much because I really don't care. But but when they do recognize something that's deserving, I'm very happy for
Yeah.
them. So it's a complicated situation.
congrats to Substance. I hope you win.
Yeah.
I'm really glad the Substance got nominated.
Horror
though.
needs to be recognized as an act, like a legitimate.
Yeah,
fucking,
it's rarely taken seriously,
yeah.
by the Academy. And even when it is, sometimes it's the quote unquote elevated horror let's say, but I don't know if you could give Substance that label.
No.
It's not elevated. It's not
campy, and
it's
those
rounded.
movies never
Yeah.
are like that. Yeah, exactly. But anyway, Will, that was your number 2.
That was my
correct?
number 2. Yes.
All right, that
So-
comes to me.
Yes.
My number 2,
Oh, that's right. It was.
I think I've already said, was Dune Part 2.
Yeah, it was good too. Yeah.
Okay. My number 1 was Furiosa. A Mad Max.
Hey, let's fucking go.
I had my top 3 pretty much solidified very early on.
Yeah.
It was everything else that I figured out last minute.
2024 was a good start.
Yeah.
Like it started off fucking strong for movies.
Furiosa was so fucking good, and I will talk to anybody at length about it. I tried to sell so many people on this movie because I was like, please go see this while it's in theaters. Please, please,
Yeah.
please. It's bombing. It needs your money. You're like, you will not walk out disappointed. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a little overlong in parts because it's not the wall-to-wall thrill ride that is Fury Road, but it's still an incredible movie. It's so visionary. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to walk out with a smile on your face. Chris Hemsworth is having a
He's
fucking
doing such.
blast.
I didn't even talk about him, man.
I know.
he's
Yeah, I
doing
know.
great-
As much as we said about it, we didn't even get to him.
He's a fantastic part of the movie. Like he's really just chewing it up, man.
He's wearing a prosthetic nose.
He put on the silly nose.
He's doing a silly voice that
did
was
the silly
inspired
voice.
by a seagull that he would do to his kids. It's so much fun. I really Anya Taylor-Joy is someone who has annoyed me
What?
with her career. I know. Hang on.
Explain.
I liked her. I liked her.
Someone's mad.
I liked her in The Witch, but like I find her annoying lately because like she kind of plays the same character in a lot of movies. And I famously did not like The Menu.
Yes, he didn't like the menu.
But it's not her. She wasn't bad at it or anything. I just like she just looks like an alien to me, and I
She's got the wide eyes, man.
don't. Yeah. But blew me a fucking way in this
Yeah.
movie. And I was mad that she was recast because this was supposed to be Charlize Theron reprising the role.
Mhm.
But I know like midway through production or something, George Miller decided to like it was always a prequel, and he decided like, well, so much time has passed. Like I think I should cast a younger actress, because she's supposed to be significantly younger in this movie than she is in Fury Road.
Mhm.
And I know, like I think you can actually read interviews about this, I think, and Charlize was like hurt by it, but she's like, I get it. I get what your vision is. It's fine. And, and she gave it her
Class
blessing.
act.
Of course. She's incredible.
She is.
But Anya Taylor-Joy is not phoning it in.
Nope.
She's doing an incredible job. And even when it does the jump at the end of the movie, like whatever, it's a prequel. It's
Who
going to do
cares?
this. But even when they cover the top half of her face in the grease, and then you see her become Charlize Theron by the end of the movie, it's like I bought it. Like,
Yeah.
they don't look a lot alike at all.
No, but they're the same character.
God
They're
damn it, it's so good.
embodying the same character.
And it's so striking that the grease paint on the face.
Mhm.
Again, George Miller, a fucking visionary. Like
Yeah.
nobody's doing it like him, man. Oh my God.
Mhm.
What a beautiful movie. It does use a lot of CGI that gets a little sloppy in parts, which is
Yeah.
frustrating because it's so good otherwise in Fury Road. And it does feel like it's because maybe they rushed this movie or like they ran out of money because they worked on this movie for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been a long time in the making. But I'm able to look past it because it was so much fun. It's such a wild ride. Would I have told George to cut what he does with the credits where he splices in Fury Road during the post credits?
That was probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I didn't love that. I felt like that was rough, but what it did do was prime me up to want to go see Fury Road again. So maybe it worked. But yeah, that was my favorite movie of 2024.
Fantastic.
Will,
Yes.
back to you, buddy.
Guess.
Wild Robot.
You are absolutely correct. The Wild Robot is my number one movie of the year.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie, and I'm going to cry.
Aw.
Oh, buddy.
Going purely off of emotion, the movie that affected me the most from this movie was this movie. It's directed by Chris Sanders. It stars... God damn it.
Do you want to take a moment?
God
Here,
damn it.
collect
dude.
yourself.
It's like it's not even sad. I'm not sad. I
I
love
know.
this.
You just love it that much.
I just love it
You
that
just
much,
love
man.
your son so much.
It's true.
I'm sorry. You look like you're about to break even more now.
I love my son.
Can I? You want to collect yourself? I want to
yeah.
say something really
Yeah,
fast.
go for it.
I watched a movie the other day that I want to recommend to you.
Yeah.
that is basically the Wild Robot, but with kaiju and mechs.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, is it Pacific Rim?
No, no, but it feels like Pacific Rim.
Does it? What is
It's
it?
Ultraman Rising.
Oh, no shit. I wanted to catch that. It's a movie?
Yeah, it came out last year.
Fuck, dude, I gotta see it.
You
Yeah.
got to check it out. It is seriously, it is like the plot of Wild Robot, but with kaiju and mechs.
That's fucking tight.
And it like there is a huge fight in the ocean that felt Pacific Rim as hell.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's tight.
I know the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, Will needs to
would
fucking
love
see
this.
this movie. Yeah,
Yeah. It stars Lupita Nyong'o, Pedro Pascal, and Kit Connor. Fuck, dude, this movie destroyed me.
Is Pedro the Fox? Okay.
He's the fox, yeah. So I remember seeing advertisements for this movie and hearing that it was done by the same team that did Puss in Boots: The Last Wish,
Right.
Same studio, DreamWorks. And if you listen to our episode on Puss in Boots, like I remember like before we even watched it, I sold you on it, and you were not at all disappointed. Like that movie was so fucking good. And if you know me, you know I love children's animation. Obviously, I had another kids animated movie on my top 10 from the last episode. So it's like it's an art form that is dying, unfortunately, because we don't get hand animated stuff anymore. It's too expensive to do, even though like those stories are important. The moment that I saw it, I was like, I have to see this movie, regardless of if it's good or not, because this is an art form that I want to keep in theaters, right? And then I remember like I saw I didn't get to see it because the fucking hurricanes hit when it was in the drive-in, and I'm not taking my son to a theater and having him ruin it, you know, whatever movie for everybody else. We're working on it. That's going to be this year's challenge. So I remember seeing a trailer for it when I saw the Beetlejuice sequel, and like I started crying in theaters already because I didn't realize it was about like raising a child and then having to watch them leave one day.
Oh.
Did you see it? Did you watch it? Oh, dude, it's so good.
I sat and watched it while she was at work with the kid one day.
Right. Yeah. And like I can't watch this movie without tearing up. I can't even like hear the music without crying. Like we rented it, and I was like so excited to watch it with my wife and my kid. And like watching the story unfold was just like so difficult. And well, thanks, dude. And
I'm gonna need one in a second too, man. You're getting me.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I love my son.
I bet nobody listening was like, man, they're all just crying at the end of this fucking episode, dude.
But like the very next day, because like we finished it, I was like, Ezra, did you like it? Because he sat and watched the whole film, which is like not something he normally does. And he was like, yeah, I really did, you know. And the very next day he asked, he was like, hey, can we watch Wild Robot? And I was like, well, Daddy's got to work. And honestly, I can't emotionally handle this. So I'll put it on for you, kid. And I'll just sit away from the TV and I'll work. And I'm fucking sobbing for like 20 minutes while I'm painting something, you know? And it's just like rough. It's so rough. And even like he's made a new friend in the neighborhood, and anytime he sees birds flying, he's like, hey, it's Bright Bill, you know, which is the name of the bird.
Yeah.
And he was even pretending to be the bird a couple times, just like, dude,
man.
Oh my God, you're making me tear up.
I'm sorry. And so like we went to my father-in-law's house for vacation, and my wife was like, hey, we should watch The Wild Robot. And I said, not me.
I'm gonna step outside and
I'm
chop
gonna
some
be
wood
in a completely different room with headphones on because I cannot do it.
Can't even hear the score. Yeah.
But all I have to say, like, the animation is fantastic. They don't do what they did with Puss in Boots. You know how like a lot of these animated movies are doing these like slow down frames to add like impact to action.
Oh, animating on the twos.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very fluid, but it's still like beautiful and vibrant, and it's such a good story. Like, dude, I bought the book. I bought the book. We read it to my a couple chapters to my kid every single night.
That's so sweet.
I fucking love this movie. And I think it got nominated for things too, which is great. I hope it wins. Like, I know it's up against Inside Out 2, which, not to say that wasn't a good movie. It was a very faithful adaptation, but it's not this film. This film is fantastic in all the different ways. And I love it. So yeah.
That sounds
if you haven't
great.
seen it, go see the fucking movie.
Oh,
I will say, kind of similar to you, I was watching a children's animated movie with my daughter the other day. Actually, it's half live action, half animated. And within 10 minutes, I was like completely in tears. And I think my daughter was kind of like, what's going on? It was Christopher Robin, the 2018 movie where Ewan McGregor plays like a grown-up Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
It's so good. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's
highly
so
recommend it
good.
to you and anybody listening. It's a 2018 film. But yeah, it's a Winnie the Pooh movie, but it's like a Lego sequel kind of thing where it's like, oh, Christopher Robin like grew up one day and left the 100-acre wood. And then
what happens? Yeah.
Like 30 years later, Pooh's missing him and he's like a grown up with like a family and he like fought in World War II and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, what? And like my childhood toys, you know?
That is how Winnie the Pooh ends.
You're kidding me.
No, the books I read to Allison when she was baby. And
the movie picks up with that. Yeah.
It just ends with Christopher Robin being like, hey, I might not come back. I might just...
Does he go to boarding school?
Leave you, Pooh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's going to school.
That's what it is in the movie, too.
Oh, and I was crying.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's so sad because they go on all these adventures together and then it's like, oh.
Does he walk away with Pooh like after having a big going away party and they like have a chat about it?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a lot. That movie is front loaded with like
I just realized that's
lot of emotion.
So yeah, it's crazy. And then like in the first 10 minutes, his dad dies, and it's rough, man. Like it hit me fucking hard. Oh my god,
dude!
Damn.
You wouldn't believe this, but The Land Before Time is on Amazon Prime.
You
can watch it for free.
Oh my god,
guys.
Well, and then knowing the backstory about the actress,
the little actress,
too, right?
that is also rough.
It's also why I can't watch All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Same thing. Yeah, I know, right? Because her, Burt Reynolds, saying goodbye
and he
to her.
recorded those lines after she died.
Yeah, but like, guys, I loved Land Before Time growing up, and
Me too.
It was a special moment to share that with my kid.
Yeah,
no,
this kid has made me so weak. But like, being able to rewatch it with him, and like once again, he watched the most things. He was very engaged. He was asking me questions about the characters and whatnot. It was really cool.
What's his powers?
Exactly.
Man.
What's that one's name? Why he was like, why is Sarah so mean? I'm like, because she's a fucking racist. Her dad's racist. But like, yeah, the whole bit with his mom and shit, like, dude, guys, I was destroyed, man.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid has made me so fucking weak. God damn it. But yeah, Wild Robot, favorite movie of the last year.
That sounds great.
Oh yeah, man, what a
I'm
sell.
gonna watch it.
Yeah, Kourtney, you're the one not in tears right now. What is rather your number one movie of 2024?
All right, my number one movie of 2024. I don't think anyone watched.
Okay.
It is Babes. It was directed by Pamela Adlon, who you might know as Bobby Hill. And it stars Ilana Glazer and Michelle
That's right.
Buteau, I think her name is. They're both comedians and they're so funny. Did I hit that ands? They're comedians.
I think you did say comedians.
Comedians? No, they're comedians.
It's
Anyway.
like actor or actress, but it's just actors. It's performer.
They are actors.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is like Broad City 2. Ilana has a baby.
Fucking A. You just sold a lot of people on that.
It was so funny.
Yeah.
But it really just tackled something that really resonated with me at the time. And also, I love Broad City.
Yeah, I'm very aware.
It's about Ilana having a baby and her best friend who just had a baby and is newly postpartum. And I'm watching this and I've got a 4-month-old a baby.
Yeah.
And both
You just
sides,
lived this,
I lived this. And it's so funny and just real.
It's streaming on Amazon Prime for anyone listening that wants to check it out.
For free?
Oh, yeah. If you have a subscription to Amazon Prime.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I just wanted to hit that while you were taking a second.
Another one I'm going to fucking check out. Because if shit's funny, then,
Yes, it's so good.
we need that right now.
We need that especially right now. Literally right now.
Hey, Alana is amazing. Like, she's like going on like a stand-up tour right now.
Yeah, and it was really funny.
Yeah, she's so... I keep
Because
getting
she's really,
fed
like-
reels of her, and she's so fucking funny.
She's so funny. And I really love how, I don't know, I just love when it just really encompasses motherhood and it's so huge. It's such a big part of my life, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a part though where they beat a breast pump like the printer in Office Space.
Oh, shit.
It really is so personal to me having such a personal relationship with a damn breast pump.
That's so funny.
It was so hilarious. I watched it again on New Year's Eve just so I could be like, this was my favorite movie of 2024. Like, was it the best movie? No, but was it my favorite? Yeah.
Exactly.
It was just...
That's why The
made
People's
for me.
Joker was my number 3.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it was the third best film of this year, but it was my third favorite film
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at us. We're the Oscars now.
Look at us. Fuck the Oscars.
We're the Oscars.
We're the Academy.
I'm going to be honest.
I'm
with
in the
you.
PGA.
I'm going to say, like, to speak truth to that, like, if you look at the list, like, there is all sorts of very different things on mine, on yours, and on yours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not what the Oscars has.
Nah.
The how do you say, wide net that we have casted is completely different to whatever because you can look at a movie and be like, that's Oscar bait.
Yeah.
Like what's that fucking movie that came out that we did, the Killing of the Flower Moon?
Killers of the Flower Moon,
Killing of the
yeah.
Flower Moon, right? Like a great movie, but you know what they were doing.
Oh,
It wasn't in my favorite movies of that year, though.
But
Scorsese was
what
like,
I'm getting at is like you can point at a movie and like clearly this is competently done, and there is a formula that they're trying to hit in order to get a fucking Oscar.
Well, I think some of that too was like, what is it called when you're giving someone an award because you didn't give it to them in the past, but they deserved it? It's like a legacy kind of thing,
right?
Because like Scorsese has been looked over by the Oscars for so many
long
years.
Yeah, same with DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Regardless, that's fine. That's fine.
But like Scorsese, I think it's only ever won for The Departed,
right?
Which was like, yeah, that's a great movie.
It is.
Like he's made other great movies that have been overlooked, you know. But anyway, sorry to
no.
interrupt.
You're not sorry. This is adding context to it all. Like, do I think Challenger should have been nominated? Yeah, absolutely. For something, anything. You know, and that movie wasn't trying to earn an award. It was just good.
Yeah.
You know. And it's a fucking shame that a lot of good movies get overlooked because it's kind of slightly weird.
Yeah.
Like it got overlooked because there's a threesome. You know, horror gets overlooked because it's too icky.
Yeah.
Fuck these people, honestly.
Yeah.
You know?
I have a honorable mention.
Yeah, go for it.
You guys are ready to do special categories here.
Absolutely.
It didn't make my top 10 list, but it was a very fun movie, and I think a lot of people should watch it, especially listeners of this show. And it's free to watch on YouTube, so it's very accessible. Just go on YouTube and Google Rap World.
Oh my God.
Rap World.
It is a film written and directed by Connor O'Malley.
Oh, the boy. That's right. You hit me up when he fucking dropped this and I didn't fucking watch it because I suck.
We did an episode on his other short film, The Mask. And I think Rap World like maybe deserves an episode more than that because it's much better than The Mask. But it is okay, if you were a young adult like between like 16 and 23 between the years of like 2004 and like 2014, you're going to get this movie.
Okay.
Like it feels a laser targeted at like what it was like being a cringy ass like
Edgelord
young
shit,
adult.
I'm so in.
Dude, it is. I don't know if it's that edgelordy, but like they're just cringy dudes.
Okay.
But oh my
We lived
God.
that though.
Yeah.
No, we did. We did.
Guy, if you like that, dude, I think you would really like Y2K. They have those
do.
characters
yeah.
in that movie.
A lot of this movie is like, do you remember what it was like in 2009 kind of shit, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I think it's actually set in 2008. But it's about like a group of friends that are like 18, 19 and they're getting together at like one of their aunt's houses to record a rap album one night. And they just keep procrastinating and doing stupid young guy stuff.
Yeah.
And then at one point they find a gun and start playing with it. And
God.
then they go to a party and one of the main characters has been playing up how like he's gonna ask his girlfriend to marry him. You know, he's like, I think I'm gonna pop the question, man. I think I'm ready. And then he gets there and you find out that like she barely knows he exists. In fact, she's dating another guy at the party.
Oh my
And like when he very awkwardly like pulls her away from the party and like shows that he has a ring, she's like, oh my God, what is happening? It's so funny.
It's tight.
They all stop down to like go get McDonald's at one point, and they're all like pissed off at each other because one of them pulled a prank at the drive-thru, and so like things are really tense right now.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting around at their like mom's dinner table, like eating McDonald's, just pissed off at each other. God, it is so. It's one of those movies where it won't hit if you weren't alive during one of those times, you know.
Right.
In a similar vein, one of the most boring movies I watched last year was Janet Planet, which made a lot of
I
top
walked
10
in
lists.
when you were watching it. And it was long shots of like what's happening.
I checked it out because a lot of
Janet
people,
Planet.
it was on a lot of top 10 lists from critics, and they were like, yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I feel like, you know, this movie is for you if you grew up in Massachusetts in the 90s, and that's about it. That's
Oh, word. All right.
very specific niche for this movie. It is super fucking boring and nothing happened. I hated it.
Tight. Very cool.
I didn't hate it. That's too strong. I'm being too strong. But I have a category I want to go through really fast
Yeah.
called Sorry, but this movie actually sucks.
Ooh, I love
yeah.
that.
Let's hear it.
Janet Planet did not make this list. It's not that bad. It was just boring.
Okay.
Number 2 on this list. It's only a 2-film list.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 on this list, though. I'm so fucking mad I watched this movie still. And it got so much press on like Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever from like film critics and stuff that I follow.
Shit.
Strange Darling.
I did not see that.
Didn't even hear of it. Okay. Well, let me tell you what this film is. Imagine, if you will, a man so high on Quentin Tarantino sniffing his own fucking farts, writes an entire movie about a serial killer, only it's a woman. This movie reveals its
Shocking.
single gimmick early on and then continues to play out of sequence as an obligation to its breathless homage to Tarantino's work, to such an annoyance that I, at multiple times, just kept wanting to fast forward the fucking movie just to move it along. I hated this movie so much. By the way, it opens with a splash screen at the beginning of the film that says this film was shot entirely on 35 millimeter. Oh my God. Should we tell somebody? Should we have a committee? Like,
Was
should
it-
we call a meeting?
Hold on, I have a question.
Yes.
What was this film shot on?
35 millimeter.
What's up the phone?
Dude. Holy
Give them an award.
And you know why?
Because Tarantino.
Probably because Tarantino
Yeah.
swears by
Yes,
that.
because he's
Fuck
a
all the
purist.
way off. This movie sucks so
So hard.
bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's trying to do that like surface level feminist, like, oh, but you thought it was the guy, but actually it's the girl.
Mhm.
And then like the few dialogue that's in this movie, the scant dialogue that's in this movie, I should say,
Yeah.
is like misogynist as fuck. It's like there's a scene where a male cop starts chewing out a female cop, and it's fucking bad because it's like, is this the director speaking through the movie? Because it kind of feels like it, and it's really fucking bad. It's a rough movie, and I don't recommend it to anybody.
What's
I
your
fucking
number
hated
one?
it. Number 1 on this list of sorry, but this movie actually sucks is, and I really wanted to like this movie, Juror number 2.
Oh, yeah. You
I
told me about
concur.
this. Yeah. I think you were telling me about this off pod.
Yep.
And you were like, I can't believe I wasted my fucking time on this.
Really wanted to like this movie. It stars Nicholas Hoult.
Very busy.
yeah, he's working.
Yeah.
The lady from Hereditary that we love.
Tony
Tony
Collette?
Tony Collette as the prosecutor.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, I just jumped out of my
No,
brain.
you're
I'm
okay.
sorry. J. Jonah Jameson.
C.K. Lewis? No, C.K.
No,
Lewis.
what? No.
Sorry.
No,
It's J.K. Simmons.
J.K.
I'm
Simmons.
so sorry. There's a K, and you said C.K. Lewis.
Yes, it has a great cast,
Louis C.K.,
but J.K. Simmons is like one of the best characters, and he just disappears halfway through the movie.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
But anyway, I love a good legal thriller.
Yep.
They disappeared within the last 15 years. So this felt like it was going to be like a throwback to like those legal
Return to
thrillers of the
form.
90s. It has a fantastic premise that I would like tell anybody that would listen. I'm like, oh my God, you have to hear about this movie. It's about a guy, he's a jury on a murder trial. And as he's listening to like the premise of the trial, he realizes he may have been the guy that actually killed the person that's been murdered.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the script completely falls apart. Like about a third or 2/3 of the way through the movie, there are massive plot holes that I found so distracting. And I don't normally care about that stuff, but they're blatantly obvious in a movie that like the plot is very important.
Yeah.
One of the best characters in the film just disappears. J.K. Simmons' character.
Yeah.
A major plot thread just like disappears. Toni Collette's character like kind of goes on a journey, and then it just culminates in nothing. Like she just suddenly like nothing that happened mattered to her. It is an embarrassingly bad movie for everybody involved.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I like Clint Clint Eastwood directed this movie.
Oh, did
And
he?
It may be one of his last movies. It might be his last movie,
Yeah, this is
period.
probably gonna be
He's
his
like
last movie.
92.
Rest in peace.
seriously.
to
Well, hold on now.
Clint Eastwood.
If he
He's
can
not
do
dead,
it,
but I know
then
he will
George
be
Miller
soon.
can do it. I'm so sorry for over talking you. I'm so sorry.
What did you say? Did you say rest in peace?
I was doing a Zach Fox as a rest in peace, Clint Eastwood. You're not dead yet, but you will be
I
soon.
know it's coming up, yeah.
I know it's coming up.
That's good.
Yeah, the script was like a low rent Law and Order ripoff. It was
sorry,
so
man.
disappointing.
I'm sorry.
I multiple people that I respect have been like, I love this movie. Yay for legal thrillers. And Clint Eastwood still got the juice. No, he fucking doesn't, dude. Well, he didn't write the script. Maybe that's not fair to him.
Okay.
But there is a scene, like at the climax of the movie, where a main character Googles something, and it's so fucking dumb, like and unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what a 92-year-old thinks that Google can do, right? Like,
Right.
He's like Googling personal questions.
yeah, it's so dumb. It's like, but I thought you knew that because you did a thing earlier. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not
so
good.
frustrated by this movie.
You were also frustrated with me when there's a moment where we thought it was good because morally I was saying, well, I simply would not implicate myself.
So the whole like moral quandary
Kourtney,
of the movie
neither would I.
completely bounced off of you, which
I was like, well, he shouldn't say anything then.
and I was like really, grabbed by the first part of the movie because he's like, what do I do about this? And the whole movie, he's constantly going back and forth on it. And it does get annoying to the point that he doesn't make a decision at any point, it seems, in the movie until the
Just
very,
makes it
very
worse.
end. And it keeps making it worse for
And
himself.
I simply wouldn't.
It's funny.
But that wasn't even the weakest part of it. There's so many other
No.
problems
I
with
just thought
this
it was funny.
script. It's so bad. Oh my God. And then there's some actors where it's like, you should not have been cast in this movie.
Yeah, there's some.
I don't want to call them out because
Yeah.
it's mean, but like there's a couple of actors where you're like, you're not in the same league as the rest of the actors in this movie.
Man, you really fucking hated this.
He did.
I
I was
love
so
that.
disappointed
That's just
with
so
it.
funny.
And I really went into it like I was selling it to Kourtney. I was selling it to anybody that would listen when the trailer came out. I was
Yeah.
like, guys, this looks so good.
I'm sorry.
Ugh.
I was gonna say, do you have any honorable
Yeah.
mentions, or actually, this sucks actually?
You know what? Juror number 2, actually, this movie is bad.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
My honorable mention is actually going to be a TV show.
Fuck yes, good, because I've got like 3 honorable mentions.
Yeah. My honorable mention is the Netflix adaptation of 100 Years of Solitude. It's based off of a classic book that it goes through a family in Colombia, like generation by generation.
Yeah.
It starts with, I'm just going to tell you guys like briefly.
That's fine.
It starts with these 2 cousins who are getting married. And they're, that's another thing. Real quick, big incest is on in this movie. You think about it.
I almost
I'm
said,
sorry, not
fellas, is
movie.
incest back?
Dude, incest is so
Unfortunately,
bad.
incest is it's a very
It's so
strange.
back.
It's a
Why is it so high
strange-
right now? What's happening?
Well, the book is old. Hold on.
Yeah. No, that used to be kind of a normal thing, especially for like higher class society, right?
Yeah, that's why the Habsburg jaw exists. Because all the royals were fucking each other.
These 2 cousins are getting married, and the bride's mom says, your baby's gonna be born with a tail,
Oh,
like with a pig's tail. And
Whoa.
she is just cursed by like the thought of this happening.
yeah.
But she has 2 children, and neither of them are born with pig's tails. And during this time, they decide to immigrate to and create a whole new village for themselves. And it just goes through like how the village began and how like government has started and how people have colonized it. And the founders are still living there. And it goes through the children that they have and how they grow up, and then their children, and it goes on, and it focuses on the matriarch, and it's so good. It's really weird. I'm going to tell you, like, it's very strange.
That's fine.
Big incest.
Yeah.
It's back, unfortunately.
Fuck yeah.
You think,
The sister gets stuck in a dryer or something.
oh, but it is based off of a book, and it's a very very faithful adaptation to it. And the author of the book, Gabriel Garcia Marquez, said like this could never be adapted. Like it would take 100 years to do 100 Years of Solitude. And Netflix has done a really good job, and his son actually is helping produce it. So it is also like
Sick.
gotten the family's approval.
That's
And
good.
right now, only half of the series is out. So the next half will happen probably sometime later this year, but it is so good. Like I am loving it. Like, oh, but yeah, just be warned. You know, weird stuff happens in books. We don't talk about it enough.
Weird stuff happens
Books
back in the past. It's okay.
Are weird.
Well, it's
are weird,
because
true.
movies are made by like committees now, and so they excise all of the like odd or strange stuff usually, and by the time it gets to pre-production. We got to roll.
Anyway,
on
we
a
gotta
little
be-
bit.
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Sorry. Real quick. So I'm just going to rifle through these. Honorable mentions. Ribble Ridge.
Yeah, I
Ridge.
really struggled with putting that on my list, but I
Yeah.
couldn't fit it in.
Shogun. Shogun was
Oh, I need
fantastic.
to watch
Oh,
that.
Yes, you do.
TV show,
Yeah, TV show.
FX
Shogun.
show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a show. Shogun. Fantastic. Three Body Problem. Fantastic.
Oh man, Steven is gonna love that.
Steven
I know.
keeps really harping on me to watch that. Finally.
Show's very good.
Yeah.
The Penguin.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did you watch it?
No.
Guys, come on. I know you we had this conversation.
I had a category that I was going to do where number one TV show that everyone keeps telling me to fucking watch, but I don't think I ever will. The Penguin.
I'm just telling you, like, I know you said that you had a hard time watching like prestige television.
Yeah,
that's all I fucking watch. That's all I watch. So like all those things, very fucking good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Go watch The Wild Robot, please. Please do it.
I'm gonna watch it.
You're gonna love it.
Oh, is that it?
That's it, man. Oh, movies
that
that.
wraps it
Hey,
up.
this sucks actually. Megalopolis. But I know.
I thought you
Hold
were
on,
like-
hold on.
okay.
Here's the thing. When we
Should we hold it? Okay.
When
let's
we
hold
do
it.
the Passion Project episode, we don't even have to hold it. You can keep this in. When we do the Passion Project episode, I'm going to tell you how conflicted I am about this fucking movie. I'm so fucking conflicted, but it sucks actually.
So we did have I hated it, but I also loved it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude, that movie had some weird shit going on right here in my chest.
Well, folks, I think that's going to do it. What a year in movies it was. And also, we're coming up on the Debaser anniversary, but that'll be a different episode.
Yeah.
Because it's in a few weeks.
Aw.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you made it to the end of this, thank you, really. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed recording this. This is always one of the best episodes of the year to make.
Hell yeah, it is.
It's very fun.
Kourtney, thank you so much for doing this with me.
I'm honored to join. It's such a good time.
Yeah, I know scheduling this was difficult for everybody. Will, thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely.
I think that's been our show, though. Thank you for listening to Debaser, and if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to us on your podcast app and follow us on social media by searching for @DebaserPod. We are on Blue Sky, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Tubi, Froyo.
Yeah, get on Tubi and Froyo and Feeble. It's literally on PoBuddy.
Pumbus. That's on
Chumbo.
Pumbus.
Yeah. Will, real quick, I know you want to plug Pocket_Infinity, right? Everybody
Yeah,
can
that's
check you out on Instagram.
Yeah, but we'll see if that stays.
We'll
around.
see if that sticks around.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg being what he is. But hey, for my co-host Will Taylor and my special guest Kourtney Rusk, I'm Jared Rusk. Take care and goodbye, everybody. Debaser is hosted and produced by Will Taylor and Jared Rusk. Want to email the show? Send it to debaserpod@gmail.com. Want to help us out? Please leave us a 5-star review on your podcast platform of choice, especially Apple Podcasts. Thank you for listening, and take care out there.